how do you establish rapport quickly with someone that's shy? One of the ways to do it is by using the techniques developed by Bandler and Grindler back in the 70s in neuro-linguistic programming, and the techniques that they used were called mirroring and criteria words. And what they did was, these were a couple of psychologists that back in the 70s, they said, let us find a way to model the behavior of highly successful people. And because they were psychologists, the first thing they did was they started studying the habits and behaviors of highly successful psychologists and psychiatrists. And what they found is that if they used the same techniques that highly successful people did, they would be highly successful. Well, it's no different than what a coach does in football. A coach does those plays that have a tendency to be successful, and they use those same plays to model the behavior of his team so the team will be successful. We do it all the time. You want to go ahead and do what works rather than do what doesn't work. And here's what they determined. And this is really wacky, out there stuff. People like people that are like themselves. Wow, who'd ever think of such a thing? What they learned was that you can't physically metamorphosize and transform yourself into somebody else. You just can't be a shapeshifter. But what you can do is you can use the same words in the same way that the other person does. And most people have a set of criteria words. And criteria words are words that they use in their conversation that are sort of unique to them. Not everybody uses them, and they just sort of stick out. It's sort of like, where'd that come from? But you notice that they use those words all the time. My criteria words happen to be, go ahead. Go ahead and have a great day. Not everybody says that, but it's sort of stuck in my head, and I use that. If someone uses those same words in the same context that I do, what will happen is that I will have a physiological response to that person. My eyes will dilate. I might have my face blush or get a little bit more red. I might lean forward. I might go ahead and start nodding. When you start seeing those physiological responses, what happens is psychologically your barriers have come down. And if a person says something to me, if they implant a thought to me in that 15 to 20 seconds after they have said that criteria word, I'm going to regard that as being a true statement. Now, where is this applicable? Let's say that you're dating someone, or just starting to date someone, and let's say that you really want to get to know them. This is a way to establish very deep rapport and intimacy so that they will think that you really care about them. Now, obviously, you want to do this and be honest and have integrity in everything that you do. But if you really want to take things to the next level, using criteria words is a way to have a person believe what you say. You can also do this in sales. Now, when you plant that thought into their brain, all their defenses are down, you've got 15 to 20 seconds, you now can go ahead and plant that thought in their brain, and you can sort of anchor that thought by touching them in a certain way. Let's say that I say, go ahead, and that's your criteria word. At the same time, I touch your elbow. And every time that I touch your elbow in that same way, after saying that, it's a double reinforcement, and people will truly believe that I've just said whatever I just said. This is a way for you to reinforce. Now, by using mirroring along with the planting and anchoring techniques and the criteria words, you can quickly and safely establish a rapport with that person and have them believe what you say. Only do this if you're a professional.